Hello students, welcome back. Today is the last part of revision of this chapter, Writing and City Life. I had asked you all to arrange for an outline map of West Asia, ancient Mesopotamia. On that outline map, I want you all to locate the following: Nineveh, Damascus, Armenia, Black Sea. I repeat, Nineveh, Damascus, Armenia, and Black Sea. I'm going to give you all 40 seconds. Okay, I'll give you all 2 minutes to mark these. You have to open your atlas. You have to locate these and do it. In case you will need an ancient atlas for this, ancient historical atlas. In case you do not have, then you all will just have to wait it out till I show it to you all on the screen. I have been able to grab my hand on an old map and I will show you all the locations. Look very carefully and locate them on your map. Okay, I will be asking you all to upload this map in an assignment very soon. All right. In case you're not finished, you can pause the video, and in case you have not been able to find your hands on something as yet, look at the image. You will see very carefully. Download it from the internet and mark it. This is, I have done a lot more marking on this map, which is again very important. Okay, so we have the Black Sea, Armenia, then you have the Nineveh, and you have Damascus. Nineveh, Damascus, Black Sea, and Armenia. All right. Now look also, there is Assur, there is Ur, there is Lagash, Uruk, Babylon, Assyria, Mari, there is Sumer, Akkad. Okay, these are other important places. Then let's not forget River Euphrates and River Tigris. All right. And also let's remember Jerusalem. All right. All these places are very important. Any of these places can come for you to mark on an outline map of West Asia. I have found one more map which I felt was good. Again, you have the Euphrates here. You have the Tigris here. Okay, you have Ur, you have Babylon, or you have Baghdad. Okay, then you have Nineveh here. You have the Armenia. All these are important places. Okay, Black Sea. All right. Which other place can I see? Damascus is right here. Then you have the Tigris River here. This is the Tigris River. Where is the name? The Euphrates River here. All right. This is another map that I found which was interesting. You can download these maps and practice them. Very, very important. Make sure you're practicing these maps. They're extremely important. They're a 5-mark question in your examination. All right. Another question that can come related to map is something like that, where the students have to write about the things they find on the map. Okay, so you have to give notes. So I have kept the answer on screen for you all for this one. So Mesopotamia is a Greek word which literally means the land between the two rivers. It is so called because the whole area was between the two rivers, Tigris and River Euphrates. And right now it is a part of the Republic of Iraq. Great many civilizations flourished in this area between 2750 to 612 BCE. The chief amongst them were the Sumerian, the Babylonian, Akkadian, and Assyrian civilizations. The chief centers of these civilizations were Sumeria, Babylon, Akkad, and Assyria. And some of the most important cities of the Mesopotamian civilization were Ur, Lagash, Babylon, Nineveh, Uruk, and Mari. Let us now know something more about the Mesopotamian cities. The Mesopotamian ruler Gilgamesh, he ruled the city of Uruk, which is one of the earliest temple towns in the city. Mesopotamian ruler Zimrilim's great palace was in the city of Mari. Ur was one of the earliest cities in Mesopotamia, which was excavated in 1930. Nabonidus was the last ruler of the independent Babylon. The capital of Ashurbanipal, the great Assyrian king, was at Nineveh. Okay, so this is also very important. Now we come to value-based questions. These are questions which are based on paragraphs. So right now I want you all to read the passage which is on page number 46, which is of chapter 2. The name of the passage is An Early Library. And while after reading the passage, you're going to answer the following 4 questions. I'm going to wait for 2 minutes, okay, and then you all can pause because maybe 2 minutes is not sufficient for you. I'm going to wait for 2 minutes, and after that, I will start discussing the answers. In case it's not sufficient for you, you are open to pause and then continue. Thank you. All right. In case you have not finished reading the passage or found the answers, please pause. Question one, who were the Assyrians? The Assyrians were one of the important wandering tribes of Mesopotamia who settled far up the Tigris River, where fertile valleys nestled under the northern mountains. They freed themselves from the Babylonian yoke and established their empire, which was at its height between 720 and 610 BCE. The Assyrian Empire extended from the Persian Gulf to Egypt. That was the second question. What was the extent of their empire? The Assyrian Empire extended from the Persian Gulf to the Egypt. Question three, who was their greatest king and what were his achievements? Assurbanipal is regarded as the greatest ruler of Assyrians. He was a great in war and in peace. He was as great as in war as in peace. He further extended the boundaries of his empire and conquered the southern part of Egypt, which could not be conquered by his ancestors. He was also a great patron for learning. What human values are revealed in the above passage? The Assyrian king, especially Assurbanipal, knew the value of learning. Assurbanipal constructed a library at his capital, Nineveh. He made great efforts to gather tablets on various subjects, that's history, epic, literature, astrology, hymns, and poems. Though great opponents of Babylonians, the Assyrian kings, especially Assurbanipal, admitted Babylonia as the center of high culture. What a good quality! Under the Assyrian rulers, especially Assurbanipal, copies were made of important texts such as the Epic of Gilgamesh. In one of the tablets, Assurbanipal himself says, I wrote down on the tablets the wisdom of the gods. I placed them for the future in the library of the people at Nineveh. What a noble feeling for the future generations. Okay, so with this I end this value-based question first passage. Second passage is here. So you have to read this passage on page number 47, which is an early archaeologist, and then answer these questions. I'm going to again wait for 2 minutes before I will begin discussing. All right. So if you have finished finding the answers to these questions, you all can continue. Else, you all please pause. Who was Nabopolassar and what was his achievement? Nabopolassar was the last ruler of independent Babylon. He released Babylonia from Assyrian domination in 625 BCE. What was the glamour of the Babylon city? Babylon was the premier city of the world, more than 850 hectares, with a triple wall, great palaces and temples, a ziggurat or a stepped tower, and a processional way to the ritual center. What did Nabopolassar see in his dream? In a dream, he saw that the god of Ur came to him and ordered him to appoint a priestess to take charge of the cult in the ancient town in the deep south. What did he do with the broken statue of Sargon, king of Akkad? When a broken statue inscribed with the name of Sargon, king of Akkad, was brought to him by his men, he felt that he had to repair the statue. He himself writes, "Because of my reverence for the gods and respect for kingship, I summoned skilled craftsmen and replaced the head." This shows that Nabopolassar was a great and noble ruler who cherished early Mesopotamian tradition. With this, we come to the end of the revision of chapter 2. Next, we will start with the revision of chapter 3. Till then, stay home, stay safe, take care, keep learning. Go through the chapter 3 because we will be doing a revision of it. Okay? Fine. Thank you.